Here's a guy who actually is electable. In fact, he's currently sitting in the US Senate, and who I would vote for with enthusiasm. In fact, Radio Derb has already suggested that he undertake a presidential run. I refer, of course, to Senator Jefferson Beauregard Sessions. Senator Sessions was on fine form this week. In a memo to his Republican colleagues, dated Monday, July 29th, Senator Sessions urged them to, quote, flip the immigration debate on its head. You can read the entire memo on the internet. It's on the Weekly Standard website and several other places. I urge you to do so. I'll just quote a few of the opening sentences. Quote, the same set of GOP strategists, lobbyists and donors who have always favoured a proposal like the Gang of Eight immigration bill argue that the great lesson of the 2012 election is that the GOP needs to push for immediate amnesty and a drastic surge in low-skill immigration. This is nonsense. The GOP lost the election, as exit polls clearly show, because it hemorrhaged support from middle and low-income Americans of all backgrounds. In changing the terms of the immigration debate, we will not only prevent the implementation of a disastrous policy, but begin a larger effort to broaden our appeal to working Americans of all backgrounds. End quote. That's a bit disingenuous. The hemorrhaging of support wasn't quite from middle and low income Americans of all backgrounds. The key factor, as Sean Trend, Steve Saylor and other analysts of the election results have shown, the key factor was that middle and low income white Americans saw nothing worth voting for on the Republican ticket. Blacks and Hispanics form an inconsequential portion of the Republican electorate at the best of times. Still, let's allow Senator Sessions some ingenuousness. The great good-natured American public doesn't want to hear the blunt truth about racial voting patterns. Not from their politicians, anyway. As a poet sagely observed, humankind cannot bear very much reality. Immigration-wise, the judgment of those middle and low-income white Americans was correct. Romney and Ryan would have sold the pass on immigration if elected, as their subsequent comments, Ryan's in particular, make clear. House Majority Leader Eric Cantor is even worse. Cantor and Representative Bob Goodlatte of Virginia are currently drafting an amnesty bill for illegal aliens who claim to have been brought here as children by their parents. Never mind that any such program would be overwhelmed with fraudulent applications, which the Immigration Officers Union has already told Congress they won't have the resources to check. Never mind that the Obama administration will just ignore or override any part of the law they don't like, as they are doing with current immigration laws. Never mind that obliging people to go back to their home country is no great hardship. People change countries all the time. I've done it myself. And they often take their kids with them. Never mind any of that. Great swathes of the GOP have been suckered into thinking that unless they do the bidding of their big money donors, their party is doomed. Yo, idiots! What's dooming your party, as those electoral analyses clearly show, is that middle and low-income white Americans don't see their interests represented by the GOP. Senator Sessions understands that. So does Iowa Representative Steve King, who is currently being made the subject of a 2 minutes hate in the media for telling the truth about these so-called dreamers. To wit, that the average underage illegal is far more likely to be a drug mule than a high school valedictorian. So, we've got Senator Jeff Sessions and Representative Stephen King. 2 honest men, at least, in Congress. God promised Abraham that he'd spare the cities of the plain if he could find 10 righteous men in them. He couldn't, so Sodom and Gomorrah went up in smoke. I'm wondering what the corresponding number is for the US Congress. Well, we have 2.